clarify one thing you said. That the president has encouraged this investigation into Russia. He wants to see it reach its completion sooner rather than later. How has he encouraged it if he just fired the man who was overseeing the Russia investigation?
There are multiple people that are part of this, and it's not just the FBI. You've got the House committee, the Senate committee. Look, again, the point is, we want this to come to its conclusion. We want it to come to its conclusion with integrity, and we think that we've actually, by removing Director Comey, taken steps to make that happen. Thanks so much, guys.
You said you'd answer all of them.
Thanks so much, you guys. That's the Deputy Press Secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who recently appears to have taken the reins from Sean Spicer at the White House, today saying, by taking these steps to remove the FBI director, we think we've ensured that this investigation will come to its conclusion. Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, member of the Intelligence Committee in the Senate, just told us that even if the White House just is now admitting that the president fired the FBI director to influence the Russia investigation and to try to end it, Senator Wyden just argued that the president doesn't get to say when any of these investigation ends. Our next guest is a member of the House Intelligence Committee. He's introduced a bill to create an independent investigation into Russia's attempts to undermine the election and anybody who might have colluded with that. The commission will be modeled after the 9/11 Commission. So that means it would have the power to issue subpoenas and to obtain documents and to take testimony. This bill has the support of every member of the Democratic caucus. Today, it gained a vote of confidence from a Republican member of Congress, a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Justin Amash, one of the most conservative lawmakers in the Capitol, one who has received a lot of pressure from his constituents on this issue. Joining us now is California Congressman Eric Swalwell. Congressman, thanks very much for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, nice to be back, Rachel.
So let me ask you first about these remarks tonight from the president and the remarks today from the White House podium, from the White House spokeswoman, saying essentially that the Comey firing was about the Russia investigation. It seems like a blunt dropping of pretense as far as I'm concerned. I wanted to get your reaction.
And the president mentioned the Russia investigation in the letter that he had his security guard hand deliver to the director. And so this is a pattern of obstruction that we have seen from the president, from the deceitful claim about President Obama allegedly wiretapping him to tweeting at Sally Yates before she testified, and now this clear statement that they want this investigation to go away. And Rachel, I'll also just say, members of Congress are home right now in their districts, and I've spent the last week talking to 5 different Rotary clubs. And what I've heard from my constituents, and I think it's a good test going to a Rotary club, is that this stinks. You can't fire the guy who is investigating you. The American people just want this investigation to be an honest one that follows the evidence, and right now it doesn't look like we're getting that.
What's the remedy if the president is technically or legally obstructing justice here? If the White House does officially drop the pretense, they said, yeah, we got rid of the FBI director because we wanted to get rid of that investigation, or change the course of that investigation, or end it, cut it short. If they admit that, as far as I can tell, I'm not a lawyer, but as far as I can tell, the only remedy for that, if it's something committed by the president himself, is impeachment, which seems like a pretty pie-in-the-sky idea with the Republican House. What would the recourse be as far as you're concerned?
Well, first, as a member of the Judiciary Committee, I think we need to get an assurance from the Department of Justice that it's an honest investigation, not impeded by politics. So I'd like to have the Attorney General, as well as the acting FBI director before us, to get those assurances, also to find out just what is the White House learning about this investigation. It should be absolutely zero. And then, Rachel, in the House Intelligence Committee, we should also be able to be allowed to continue our investigation and have the hearings that were promised and that were canceled. And so, you know, before we get to the impeachment word, I think the I word that most of us just want to see is an honest investigation. And right now, that's threatened.
No matter what happens with the congressional investigation in either house, there's no prosecutorial consequence of that. Any prosecuting decisions, any criminal behavior that's undertaken, that's something that would have to be prosecuted by the Department of Justice. It seems to me, Congressman Swalwell, like an open question as to whether or not the Attorney General is actually recused from overseeing Department of Justice matters, including FBI investigations of the Trump campaign, including the Trump-Russia investigation. He was directly involved in the decision to fire James Comey, which if they're admitting it's about the Russia investigation or if they're saying it's about the Hillary Clinton email investigation. In either case, he's supposed to be recused from these matters. I wonder if there is confusion about that within the committee, if you have a take on that.
It doesn't seem very confusing to me, Rachel. It looks like he's not recused. His fingerprints aren't only on this, his signature is on the letter. And so when he told Congress that he is recusing himself from Russia, to me, that meant he would not be involved at all with the chief investigator of what happened with Russia's interference. And so that's a question that we have. I think we should know what all of his contacts were with anyone involved in the Russia investigation, and then proceed from there. But again, you talk to people at home, they just want to know how this happened, whether any U.S. persons were involved, and how we can prevent it from happening again. And that's why I think an independent commission is the most comprehensive way to get to the bottom of that.
Congressman Eric Swalwell from California, thank you very much for your time tonight, sir. Happy to have you here.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.